So this is a cursory first stab at my understanding of IG Group, the company in London, IG Group Holding, that started off as a company trading contract for differences, has acquired various brokers, was taken private by Citigroup Venture Capital, CVC, was brought back to the market, has acquired businesses in the United States and elsewhere, and it's trading at a pretty cheap valuation and has a new CEO who seems to know what he's doing and repurchases a lot of their own shares, has pretty low capital requirements. And so I just wanted to give a couple of first takes, and literally this is after about an hour looking at this, is that as we know, contracts for differences are banned in the United States. They're considered to be too dangerous for retail investors. And the picture that I want to give is that financial markets enable people to put down money and do extraordinary things, both good and bad. If you're a credible player with access to retail investors, you can receive enormous amounts of money into your financial institution, whether that be crypto or contracts for differences or sports betting or foreign exchange. And in developed countries, they really try hard. It's not easy because you're kind of fighting human nature to protect retail investors from their impulses to place bets and the like. And so there are various regulations that do that in all sorts of ways, and all sorts of restrictions that somebody who wants to play within the regulated sector, all sorts of things that they have to do in order to comply with the regulatory requirements. And we can balance that out with organizations that seek to give the consumer what they want, which is access to the ability to bet on whatever impulse they have, whether it's a horse race or a presidential election or any kind of financial instruments, of which there are many that one can create. And obviously one can use these instruments in a very conservative way. One can also use these instruments in a very dumb way. And so I think that it's inevitable that, so for example, this possible tax rise and that they won't tax contracts for differences because they're just too small, that's kind of something that a development that's in favor of IG Group Holdings. There will be other regulatory developments over time that seek to clamp down on unrestricted sale of financial products to the average consumer. And so the company kind of exists in that space. There'll be times when the opportunity grows, there'll be time when the opportunity gets smaller. And so the total addressable market, or the opportunities for growth, are more restricted than they would be otherwise. Makes me think of another company called Alpha Group and another company called StoneX, in which same idea, but this time taking similar kind of idea, taking care of clients as banks consolidated. Many clients were left with nobody to do their forex, their trading, and so firms like Alpha Group, and I may have Stone Group's name wrong, it might be StoneX, but it might be a slightly different name, who grew in order to serve those client needs, which is kind of like mopping up where the large banks and brokerage firms are just unable to deal. Long story short, it's cheap. They repurchase their shares. I don't see how one could. They obviously operate in a legal manner, and they have a great CEO. They will inevitably run into headwinds from time to time as regulators try to clamp down on that part of the market in one way or another. I was reading on the Wikipedia page of an incident where it doesn't appear that IG Group was in any way to blame, but a court wanted to find that they were in some way responsible to their clients for the Swiss National Bank lifting a cap on the Swiss franc. So what's my take, and sorry for the slightly rambly nature of this, what's my take? It's cheap, good capital allocator, have to make a decision whether I or my fund wants to be in the business of spread betting at its core. It's kind of like in the direction of lotteries and gambling companies. It's not lotteries or gambling, but it's in that direction. Having said that, they're moving into a more regulated space with things like asset management. Long story short, I'm not a big fan of the business, but I'm a big fan of the price. I hope that's helpful. Talk to you later. Bye.